Period. Period.
Period. We're here. We're
All right,
live.
let's
We're
go.
on the podcast. So a brief introduction of who you are and why you're here, and I'm gonna tell you the norms. You know, even in podcast, you gotta have meeting norms. Okay, so there's no slamming of the cups. You talk on the microphone. You make sure you can hear yourself, Malcolm. First one started already with a damn pineapple. Where are you going tonight? You eating pineapple?
I'm just trying to make sure my juices flow.
Oh, the juices flow. So we're here, and we're gonna start off with this gentleman right here to my left, who you are, and just tell us why you're here.
Hello, everybody. I'm part 2 of CT Gents on the Go, and I'm here because there's a lot going on, and something about being black, there's always an experience. So, welcome to the Black Funeral Experience.
Oh, that's what we're calling it, the Black Funeral Experience. So since we're there, my name is Louis, and I am the host of the Laundromat. And this is a podcast where you can come and you can talk shit. And if you have to let shit go, you bring it to wash. And we wash it for you. And we send your ass packing right back home. So that's me.
Hello. Who am I? My Black Self, the podcast. This is a combination. We at the Laundromat and my Black Self.
So we in the laundry with your black self.
Yes.
Okay.
And we talking about the Black Funeral Experience. Is that what you called it, Curtis?
I sure did.
The Black Funeral Experience.
The Black Funeral Experience.
So since we are going to be talking about the Black Funeral Experience, Malcolm and I decided to start off the podcast with a few words. And we're just going to break down each word. Okay, Mr. Porter? Rodriguez Porter? You're good?
Yeah, you just put my government all out there like that.
It's okay. We can delete that.
I'm not deleting shit.
Right, this is wrong. All right, so we're going to start off with this first word right here. Let's break down this first word. Funeral. What is the funeral? Because in my culture, funeral is something different. That's why I'm always confused when I talk to people. Are you going to the funeral? Are you going to this? Or are you going to that? So what is the Black funeral?
The Black Funeral. The Black Funeral is the after party. It's
The afterlife after party.
the afterlife after party. It is the going home service, the most instruction, the most detailed, the what you gonna wear, how is the deceased, do we need to create a GoFundMe, or do we have the money in the bank, or do we have a life insurance policy? It is
Full of
drama, stress, passion, happiness, all wrapped up in one big old ball.
So my original question was, what is a Black funeral? And y'all went on a whole, in my brain.
because it includes all of that.
Right, I know,
Yeah.
which is fine. But in my brain, I thought you were going to talk about that. What is the actual, like what part of is called a funeral? Is it the viewing of the body? Is that the funeral? What is that? Is the funeral the planning before the person?
The funeral is the actual service. It's the viewing the body and the what do you call it? The eulogy.
Oh, so that's the funeral.
That's the funeral.
Okay.
That's what you have at a funeral. You see the body, the casket is there, the family typically sits on one side, friends sit. You hear that in the background? There's a rain.
It's probably me.
There's a and a friend sit on another. People say kind words. The pastor or the bishop, or the elder,
Okay.
does his
We're gonna talk about that later.
Yes.
There's steps to this stuff.
yes does his thing. There is song, and that is pretty much it. And then there's the recession.
No, we can't talk about that. We were just talking about the word funeral.
No, but that is the
The
funeral.
processional and the recessional was at the funeral.
That's
At the
all at the
funeral.
funeral. Yeah,
Okay.
not the repast.
Not the Okay.
And we talking about, but we didn't talk about the concert part.
What concert?
There is a musical.
We said song.
Song and concert is different.
Well,
A song could be sang anywhere, but at a black experience, you get in a musical concert.
that's accurate, but it goes deeper than that. It depends on who the person is. It depends on how old they are. Because our previous experience, we didn't get a music concert. We got song.
A check-in.
Correct?
A hymn.
Or do you think that was a concert?
No, that was not a concert.
In a concert, you typically have to pay Did you have to? Yeah, you
No,
did.
but funerals are free concert.
No, it's not because the family had to pay to sit there. They had to pay for stuff. The church wasn't free. The other stuff wasn't free. The viewing of the body wasn't free. So y'all paid to go to the concert.
Absolutely.
Right. That shit is not free. Maybe you didn't pay. So that makes it free for you. But other family members have to pay. So.
But at the funeral, do you give the people who sang a tip, like at your wedding?
No.
Wow.
No, but they get paid.
Of course.
By who?
But if you rent
The
the
person
church,
planning the funeral.
Yeah.
Nobody sings for free. Can your funeral? That woman didn't sing for free.
absolutely.
Sing for free?
I don't believe. Well, she may have because it was friends of the family, but
Oh, so
most
you
people.
also went to the funeral for free. You went to the concert for free because you didn't give a dime. Did you give a dime to the funeral?
I did.
Oh,
Not this one, but but they don't sing for none of that stuff is free. You gotta deeper. You have to pay for the church. You have to pay the pastor, and if you are not a member of the church, you
Right.
have to pay
It's
more.
Right, I knew that.
Or even if you do it at the funeral home, there's still a fee. You have to also.
But the pianist,
yes,
the organist, the
That's-
drummer.
that's
the
why
coder.
nowadays people don't have all of that because it costs too much.
you go to the pizza shop.
Did the deacons get a donation for them showing up?
They get paid also.
And the bishop?
Everybody gets paid for their
All the
time
clergy up there
because
got
they
paid.
are taken away from what else they could be doing.
Correct.
And it's their job.
Absolutely.
So I didn't get up there, so you get paid.
Who?
You too.
We should have.
No one asked us to, and we were supposed to get prime parking because we are clergy.
Well, it wasn't no parking anyway.
Absolutely, but the clergy was able to park in the back.
Also, things that you pay for.
Yes.
I've noticed. But this could be different funeral homes. If they have the service at the funeral home, you don't pay for that casket. It is borrowed. Like to view the body?
Really?
Yes.
Oh yes, I knew.
If
that.
you're gonna get cremated.
Yes. It's very deep.
I want mine's rented. But I want the best one rented.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna be in there.
And caskets are so expensive.
Expensive.
I just want the
Makes no
casket because I'm
sense.
gonna get cremated. So I want the casket to look like Whitney's, but they can't open it.
Okay. So
I don't remember what Whitney's
That's the
looked
funeral.
like.
It was gold.
It was gold.
no, was it gold or was it like that? It was like a gold and silver together.
Should we have lifted the casket and put it on our shoulders?
Malcolm had high heels on.
I would have been too high.
Right. And
Recently,
he was in tears.
recently our grandmother passed. I know I talked about one grandmother last year, but this is the other. She passed, and her funeral was the other day. So if you hear us referring to what recently happened, it is that funeral that we attended.
And can I say, today I was thinking about this. So this is the first time that you all, your family, not the older folks, but the younger generation, actually had to partake in processing a funeral?
What do you mean processing or you mean planning?
Planning. Like real deep like this one.
For the Gaddisons, for me.
Yeah, I was about to say
So
first,
this is
yeah.
your first one.
For the
For
Gaddisons.
this side of the
For
family,
this
yes.
family.
Yes.
For your sister, that was also your first one too.
And
Right.
grandma, yes.
grandma.
So Kia was the first one, then grandma was the second one.
Right.
Yes.
So, today thinking about this, did y'all take the? I mean, was it a learning opportunity, or would you have fixed things that you already observed in your first round?
Absolutely, because I'm going to call my grandmother on my father's side, and I'm going to have her write her own obituary while she's alive.
Right.
That was a learning curve for me. Because I don't want to have to go looking for information, high school and dates and this and who do you, and I don't know who she wants in her obituary, so I'd rather her write it, and then all I have to do is update minor things and call it a day. That is something for sure I took away. And I'm going to ask her, I'm going to say, Graham, do you want a simple one? Or do you want a
seven-page
photo
one?
album? Right, I'm going to say, do you want a photo album? Or you just want something simple? I want her, so then when
It's
that,
what that person
day comes,
wants.
it's what she wanted, period. Because she already said, I already gave away everything to everybody that I already want them to have.
Including STDs?
Who? You tried it.
What?
Okay, next word.
Wait, because I'm going back. The
Okay.
one thing I noticed at funerals, and that I've been paying attention attention to is flowers. I want more flowers around the casket, and that's something you have to either request or people buy flowers on the when they see the obituary posted through the funeral home. They buy those flowers.
But do you want flowers like in buckets, real nice, real cute, or do you want them wreaths that people be doing with this?
No.
Okay,
No.
so you need to define that.
I mean, 1 or 2 wreaths is fine.
I don't want to buy a wreath.
1 or 2 because they stand, so those are cute. But like more flowers around the casket because it makes everything look bare.
I want to spread.
For me, it's the aesthetic
of the white roses.
Yeah, see, something more flowers. That's what I've been noticing.
Okay.
But I mean, at the end of the day,
Sure.
Is what it is.
Okay. Next word. Burial. What's this?
Burial.
What part is this?
This is where you go and see who gonna say they want to jump in the casket or the ground, I should say, and say, "Take me with you."
So this is at the actual cemetery, or the burial ground, or where the person's gonna be laid to rest.
Yeah, this is at the end. This is either you want to be buried or you want to be cremated.
But black people, we call it the interment.
The interment.
Yeah.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
It was in the program.
I didn't read it.
Internment. Yeah.
I didn't read the program.
Did you use the program as a fan?
No, I just.
We put it down.
Yeah.
Did you get a colored one or black?
No,
and
I
white
did
one?
not get a colored one. I would like to point that out.
Oh, right. I noticed that some people got colored ones and some people got black and white, and I was like, how are they gonna see the pictures? In the
Well,
thing?
go back to funeral.
Oh yes,
So.
yes.
Let's talk about it. If folks is on a budget, either there's no color
Or there's a certain amount.
or there's a certain amount.
So the free.
And
That's what we did with Kia.
the first
That
25 is free.
immediate family is
Mhm.
getting a color copy, and everyone else is getting black and white.
Okay, because
So that's deliberate. You got color.
So how does the usher know who's getting the color?
The usher does not know because the family always fucks up in the beginning with the rows.
Right.
So the usher has no idea who his family
Correct.
besides the people that they've seen in the church. Correct?
They don't really know.
They don't know
But the usher yesterday knew.
I know
because she knows the family. That's what I'm
Correct.
saying.
Right, but
So she
she
knows the
gave-
people she saw in the church, but she don't know everybody else.
So she was given in our rows black mix, colored and black and white.
Yeah.
A mixture, and then she just kept giving her. People just kept asking. She just kept giving. So like
I did see that.
So like in front of me was your father. They got black and white. So I gave them my colored one. Your father.
You did?
Yeah, he ended up with a black and white one. So he has a color one. Well, they have two now. Mary got a color one too.
So then why did Uncle Mackie need a color one? He should have took hers.
Yo no sé pa.
So you gave my color one away?
No, I have yours. I have yours in the backpack.
Two.
Two.
Because one is not for me. One's for somebody else.
Who's the?
Who's your friend?
I got to mail it down south.
To
Oh
who?
Lord.
To who?
A cousin that asked for it.
See, this is
This is the thing.
this is the thing. This is the experience. Niggas always take it because I got an extra obituary for Cece. And she ain't get it yet. Niggas always take an extra obituary.
For no reason.
And when I left the house today, when I put grandma's next to everybody else's, I said, no, this is not going to be a thing. I have every single obituary starting with Monty.
You have Monty's obituary?
I have my I got Monty's, I got Malcolm's, I have my grandmother's brother. And they're all sitting in one spot. I'm like, this is, first off, it's not cute.
I don't have any.
This is not cute. So what I'm gonna do is get a picture of everybody and like have them in a nice picture. Not the obituary itself, but like I'm gonna get rid of those programs.
Yeah.
Because they're just gonna stack up. Nobody's gonna stop dying.
Right.
So the important ones like grandma, my two grandmas and Kia, I'm just gonna put in a picture.
Yeah.
Like, cause I have pictures of Kia all over the house. So I don't understand the keeping of the program, but I have
get a
them.
photo album.
Yes.
And just put the photo album in the back of your closet and just put the programs in there if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, but I don't really want to keep them.
Okay.
Maybe I should scan them.
Send them to a Google Drive.
Yes.
I know that's right. Scan them and send them to a Google Drive. That's how we do 2023.
Because then it's like your life is limited to paper at this point.
Would you also keep photos of when people take pictures of the body?
First of all, I heard that's illegal.
It's illegal.
Google it.
To take a picture of a dead body?
I heard it's
While
illegal
in casket?
to take pictures of the body, and I heard it's illegal to post it on social media.
That's part I heard because the actual person who's deceased did not give you any rights or write anything on. That's what this says on the thing. They're supposed to give you rights to post whatever on anywhere. And the one organization that got sued was Polaroid.
Why? What did they do?
They ended up paying the 1990s. That shit shakes. For something.
It's a ghost.
Going over
Yonder.
to be with my love.
Hello.
So our next word is casket. How does the casket process go? Do you want a casket?
Wait. We didn't even finish burial yet.
We did it.
Alright, because y'all over here talking.
No. How about this?
He
Who
tried
gets
it.
to sit in the chairs in front of the casket at the burial?
Oh my gosh.
The children. The children.
What if they don't have children?
Then the best friend, the closest person to them, a wife, a husband, a partner, whatever. But they have to go there.
That's accurate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like it was all the kids at grandma's.
And if a person had a pet, the pet's got to be there. If they were by themselves, lonely, and they were like a cat lady, her favorite cat got to be there.
I do want to point something out though. The burial is supposed to be a situation. So the burial, there's supposed to be a prayer. There's supposed to be some words.
Ashes to ashes.
Yeah, that kind of thing. It's supposed to be at least 20 minutes, right? Like,
Now when you're on a crunch time and you pay till 1.
Maybe
15.
no, maybe like 10 max.
Okay. Well, yeah, they say a prayer, and it's a little oomph to it. And then the funeral home typically does something with certain funeral homes.
Yesterday the funeral home didn't give a presentation.
But it depends on which package you picked. Does that come with this package? Or did you just pick the casket in the hole?
No, but usually they say thank you for entrusting in us with this.
Yes, they say thank you because we paid you money.
Right. They usually give a thank you for entrusting in us, and we hope that we did you and your family justice, and dot. And we did not get that yesterday. It was just the I think they said the repast was in Waterbury.
Yeah, so what happened yesterday, the pastor passed it over to him, and he literally said, the repast is in Waterbury at 22:05. That's not what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to say, thank you, family, for entrusting in us, and blah, blah, blah.
So basically market their business.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. That was
Yes.
a product
Well,
placement.
what if you don't know nobody's pockets? So what if that was a donation from the funeral home? What if your siblings your parents didn't pay for anything? Because somebody did say that this is the funeral I use for everybody. Jenkins, whatever.
No, but it's still nice and respectful
I get
to
it.
say thank
but
you,
I think
family.
also they were also on crunch time because they had to get to the place.
It takes half a second to say thank you.
I'm just saying. I'm just looking at both sides.
I mean, Chick-fil-A always say my pleasure.
And that's all they say.
Mm-hmm.
Do they say come back to Chick-fil-A? Thank you for shopping at Chick-fil-A?
No, because they don't have to. They say thank you and give you everything perfectly, so you have no choice but to think about it and come back. Because if I'm on my dying bed, I damn sure ain't calling them white men to come bury me. That's all I got to say about it. Because that pissed me off.
Did y'all see that thing on Instagram where the side piece was trying to twerk at the funeral?
No.
Absolutely.
And they was like, no, not here, girl. And then they tried to like swipe her because she was ready to start twerking at the funeral.
Let her twerk. But see, like, that's a whole nother situation with, like, respect. Like, somehow when this person dies, nothing that they did is, like, existent at a funeral. Like, their whole being, their whole personality, everything that they did is no longer existent. They're a fucking Holy Ghost, and everybody has to act like none of that shit went down until the repast.
I agree.
We got to sit in this church with our legs folded, and because my father was like, you can't wear your hat in the church. I was like,
why not?
it was because of the type of church it was.
Are you serious?
I said, see, this is exactly why I don't go to church, because it's too many rules. Like, I don't go to church, so why? Like, what if I didn't know? Treat it as if I don't know. Just let me be me. But they're going to kick me out of the church? I'm here for a funeral. I'm not here for a church service. But, I mean, I get it. You have to respect everything. But at the same time, like, that's not a known fact to me.
Okay.
Because people wear church hats all the time.
I mean, there was quite a few people with hats there.
Talk about it.
I don't know why your father told you not to. I would have worn the hat anyways.
Talk about it. I took my hat off. Because it wasn't about me that day.
Absolutely. No, but if it wasn't about you.
I would have kept my hat off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, is there different, and we're talking about because this is, culturally, we don't do any of this. And you know that. Right? So, who sits on the left and who sits on the right? Is there a law that the family sits to the right?
It's a known fact.
Because he knows that I like, when I look at things, I always try to investigate why. And I was thinking in my head, if my head is on that side, I want to be with my family. Like I would have flipped the cat. I don't know, put the body the other way. Wherever the head is at is where the family should sit.
I don't know, but I also don't think we need to look at this dead body the entire time of the service.
Right.
Absolutely.
I was excited. I like when they close it and they close it.
Yes.
And that's it. This open, close, open, close.
Because you just kept, and then it was elevated.
She was not elevated.
She was not elevated.
She was not elevated.
Her head was not elevated.
No.
But why? Let's talk about, because somebody asked. Because somebody hadn't been to a funeral in a long time. They was like, wait, aren't we supposed to stay here and today lower the body in the ground? And I said, no, they stopped doing that.
Didn't I tell you?
I heard that a couple years ago, that they stopped doing that because it was too traumatic for the family.
But I also heard that you're supposed to stay there. When you look at the things for your officiancy, they give you certain things you have to read in the bottom. They also say, and they also recommend that a family member needs to stay there until the body is on the ground, because certain locations will leave the body sitting there for hours until they figure out who is going to haul that thing down. So that's why it's recommended that somebody stays there and says, I want this body on the ground now.
I know we stayed there for grandma and I watched her go on the ground.
Absolutely.
But I don't remember doing that with Kia.
Mm-mm.
We didn't, right? Because they was kicking us out of there. Because they had another
No, Kia's casket was already done when we were, because me, you, Darnell were taking photos and the casket was already on the ground.
Oh, okay.
Remember, y'all look at the picture between you and Darnell and them. The casket was already on the ground.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's because we were taking pictures and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was down.
Oh, okay. But I know with grandma, I waited until.
Absolutely. Because
they put her down. I actually helped them. So, yeah, it was a little Mexican man. He was like, oh, hey, can you help me? I was like, sure.
Okay.
So, we gotta go to the next one.
Okay.
Casket. And I have a question for casket.
Y'all, we're pressed for time like they did at the service yesterday. We are pressed for time.
So, casket.
Press,
so, my question about the casket is, I've never been a pallbearer, right? And I don't plan to either. So, don't ask me to carry nobody's body.
I've been a pallbearer so many times.
What's the actual weight? Is it like when you're moving a refrigerator? Or is it like you're moving a heavy ass box with like a motorcycle inside or something?
It's really not heavy. It's like moving a dryer.
It depends on the person.
That is
It depends on how much they weigh. And I don't know, something else happened. I feel like something else happened when grandma left the church to when we got to the burial, because she was heavy. And she weighed less than me.
You think it weighed more?
Yes.
Or got to the burial?
We also had different people.
You had different people and your ground was soft.
Yeah.
So you feel like you were going down because you were stepping on the wet grass?
No, it just felt heavier. But the weight is, it's
distributed.
It depends on who's who. It depends on how many people you have, but it can be distributed. But I've had it where times it's not.
You need more than 6 people.
No, 6 people is good though, because they're in the way. But there's a front and a back. So.
And so then how are you chosen as a pallbearer?
The family.
Yeah.
Ask.
The family asks.
Mm-hmm.
Typically a close friend or a relative.
Yeah,
Or like if you got a bunch of grandsons, it'll be your grandsons.
But you know what I've been noticing, because I've been a pallbearer many a times, is that they don't give you like a VIP parking situation or something, considering that like the pallbearers need to be behind the hearse.
Absolutely.
Because when you go to the burial grounds, you're expected to be there to take it off. But if you're parked in East Bumba,
yeah, you got lost in traffic because somebody cut you off.
You show up to the grounds and.
But what if you're
waiting? You get in the car with somebody.
You can easily hop in the car with somebody at a funeral.
Right.
Brian hopped in the car.
You don't have to know
does that person get privileged parking spot?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not talking about the individual car. I'm talking about like
the person.
If you showed up knowing that you don't have a driving situation, then you
park where they park.
You should be behind hers.
Got it.
Yes. I wonder why they don't do that, because the family is typically right behind hers. That we need to talk. Can we just briefly touch this real quick?
On what?
On the follow through. Well, we'll get there.
Okay. Next word. Cremation versus cemetery.
Burn me. Burn me, baby, burn. Keep on burn.
But then you still, so you don't want, okay, so you want burned, ashes turned into something given to people.
Jewelry.
Okay. So not thrown anywhere, not on the ground.
No, jewelry. Put me in jewelry.
Okay.
My favorite thing.
I know I want to be burned, but I battle with, do I want people to see me for a brief second? Because I have this thing in my head where I want women to be my pallbearers in stilettos in all black. Short dresses, preferably above the knee. Yes, no panties. I'm just kidding. You can wear panties.
You want to go back,
forth and forth.
To the burial we go back,
forth and forth. Shout out to the Christy Show. Yeah, cremation. I mean, at the end of the day, we was talking about this earlier. There's not going to be enough room for everybody.
Right, which is why it's like
they're gonna dig you up and put you somewhere else, and it's just gonna be your bones. Like, we may as well just handle that shit now, and poof me.
I think for me, just knowing what I know financially, and knowing how much folks spend on all the fufula, I'd rather my loved ones, if I did leave them anything, to take that money and go on a vacation out the country, buy a condo, buy a multifamily, like
something. Just
go
lift it on the body.
Go fix your house. I don't know, something that makes sense, right? That adds value to the living. A funeral does not add value to the living.
No.
It adds burden and debt.
That's accurate. Burden and debt and stress.
Yeah.
It's like a wedding.
For one day to bury somebody, to literally get rid of this body.
Because what's the average cost of a funeral? Like, let's think about yesterday's funeral. What would be the average cost for that? Between food, travel, hair and makeup?
Probably like $20,000.
Yeah.
That was yesterday?
It could have been
The funeral is like 12 to 15. Because the casket is probably what, 6, 7, depending on what you're doing. And then you have to pay the church. Now, also, I don't know how much this church specifically charge, but you have to pay the church, and you got to pay everybody. That part.
And then what probably helped yesterday with Graham's is that the plot was already paid for from my grandfather.
Oh yeah, you got to pay for the plot. You got to pay for the fucking time
and the stone, but they didn't have to pay for a stone or a plot yesterday because it was already
paid for.
Yeah, but those are all things.
Yeah, you got to pay for the stone. But think about how many people don't have stones right now. I think it's stupid.
Okay. Funeral home.
Black folks always choose the one to do the best makeup.
Is there a difference between, would you select, what makes you select the funeral home? Do you select it because it's black owned, or do you select it because of the service?
Service. The service.
Service.
Yes.
Because I would not have went with
the other one
yesterday.
No?
Because you want the service to be comforting. You want the service to actually, you want the people to actually make it seem like they actually care, even though they do this over and over and over again. they have to show some type of empathy towards the family and some type of respect. And the one in New Haven definitely know how to do that. Mm-hmm. Howard K. Hill be on point. They do a whole.
That's the one with the kids.
Yeah, and that's the one who did Melissa's grandfather as well.
And Mackey's.
Oh, they did Mackey too?
Oh, I remember Mackey's. Mackey's is a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do.
They were dressed real nice.
Yes, they give you a service. They talk to you. The woman will sing. They give you an experience to where you'd be like, oh, well, maybe when I die, I will wanna.
Yesterday, they gave me like FBI cops, detectives waiting or something. Like they were standing in the back.
I really believe some of them might have been retired cops.
Maybe.
I heard there were.
Yeah.
From some folks who had some dealings with them.
That's what I thought.
Prior to.
Because he brought up some of the people that was in the streets that he also buried. He was talking to a family member and he was like, oh, such and such. He was like, oh, yeah. So.
I couldn't do that. Okay, so that's the funeral home.
I'm thinking I might be able to do this job.
Some people who don't, who are non, religious affiliated do funeral homes. The whole thing, rather than do a church.
Yeah, but also, like, did we choose a funeral home that was not religious in general?
Right.
Like, were these people not religious?
That's what Sammy did his, right? Same white chickens. Yeah, the one with the red steps.
I don't know. I didn't go.
I did. I sat outside.
I didn't need to go.
What's that? That wasn't Jenkins.
The one they was used yesterday was Jenkins.
No, I know the one who used that, but I don't think Jenkins was
Sammy. Yes, it was. I looked it up. It's the one with the red steps.
Oh. Order my steps
in your world, dear Lord.
This one is going to be
lead me,
guide me every day.
Sing my anointing.
Father, I pray. Order my steps in your word. Please.
Order my steps in your word.
In your word. Okay, go ahead.
the obituary.
The obituary.
Who's responsible for writing that?
This was my first time being involved with the obituary.
So
typically, who is responsible for the obituary?
If you know, he got to take a drink because he just got real comfortable because he done experience the experience. I'm sorry, I'm gonna take this back. I also had to experience the experience.
The battery's running low on that. The church. There's people at the church who can do the obituary. And I want to say the funeral home can do the obituary, but there's a nice little penny attached to that as well. But the family gets they write all the shit down, all the memories, all the high schools and all the jobs you had and all the kids and the grandkids and the baby daddies and the baby mamas that you had. All got to go into a little tiny book, and you try to get everybody that is going to be at the funeral in a picture. So nobody can feel left out.
And what's a normal size obituary?
4 pages.
1 page. Front. Inner front. Second, third page, and back.
That's it.
4 pages.
1 fold.
Right? 1 fold.
Oh, so it's
11 by 7.
Oh, yeah.
18 or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fold it.
Yep.
Period.
I agree. Why was yesterday 7 pages?
I have not looked at it.
I haven't looked at it. I looked at it at the funeral, but I haven't looked at it after.
I skimmed through it and I was like, I just placed it down. Because of the extended family. Like, she had 7 kids.
There were 7 kids. And so with 7 kids, you saw with all those grandkids, great-grandkids, great-great-great-grandkids.
And they all married. They all have kids except for one. And then all those kids have kids.
So when one of her kids passes, who gets eliminated from the obituary? What name?
Nobody.
The husband, the spouse.
Somebody, Mackie, because you have to leave room unless you're going to end up with 8 pages. What if your family's the same size as yours?
No, the spouse's name.
Do you keep adding to the list in every obituary? At some point, you have to delete some stuff.
Oh, no, are you saying what generation?
Yes.
Okay, so wait.
Well, yesterday they stopped at the grandkids.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so now at the next one, let's say one of her children passes.
None of us would be named because we're not grandchildren. We're nieces and nephews.
That's accurate.
So then the nieces and nephews get eliminated.
Yeah.
Yes.
From that obituary.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
Yep.
But the obituary would look different altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what's going to be really annoying when my father dies? Like,
Wow.
I know they're going to want to do this type of shit. I think this is all bullshit. Like, do we really have to create a little booklet for him? He dead. Give us a fucking bookmark, or everybody walk away with a little plaque or something with his, picture.
I'm
and
not
call
even
it a
doing that.
day.
I'm airdropping everything. If you don't have a smartphone, sorry, you're not getting it. And then save it to your profiles.
Like, everybody
Or
will
whatever you
take
wanna
this
save it to.
obituary.
I think the
I'm not printing nothing.
historical part of
Yeah,
the
but
obituary is good for our kids.
Where did this come from?
I
I
agree.
don't know.
I
Like I think our kids don't really need the whole thing, but I think the historical family tree part is great for them because there was stuff. I knew most of it, but I think that like our kids, that information is great because that's historical family knowledge that I wouldn't tell them necessarily. So now they have it.
Is there an interview process for who's reading the obituary? 'Cause
Wait,
I feel
no.
No, go ahead.
We're not there yet.
Think about, because I just realized this. How many obituaries do we have from funerals that we have not been to?
0.
As far as like our family, like our grandparents and like all of that, we don't have any of that information. Like
Right,
grandma,
that's the information.
grandma don't have obituaries. Your mother ain't got none. She got a picture of that dead man. No, who was that? Her grandfather, right?
That's her grandfather.
That's interesting. So maybe that's why we started doing this.
Maybe. I just thought about it.
I think
Yeah.
it's important information for family tree knowledge, for sure.
And I guess the longer you live, the longer it is.
And what you do with your life.
True.
I
And what
think
you
that
did, yeah.
when I mentor young folks, right? I talk about bios and stuff, and I say, if you were to pass today, what would you want to be written in your obituary?
I'm gonna start mine. Mine's gonna start like this. Well, shit, we're here. That's my first sentence.
Well, shit.
Well, shit.
How y'all doing?
How the fuck is y'all doing? Seriously.
But seriously, I've learned that
And
the living should write their own obituary.
I agree, but I also think, why not with mine? I don't need nobody's extra nothing. I just need Curtis and whatever my people are there first or whatever. But nieces and nephews, I don't need to know who they married to. I just need you to write family and friends at the end of the sentence.
Yeah.
But I need a caller who's Caucasian because I would want to know, do black folks include more in obituary than white folks? Catholics.
So who can we call to ask this question? I don't have any white friends that I can call right now. I mean, we do, but
I can't call any of my white friends because my phone's over there.
You can call Myrna.
so we're gonna call Myrna.
You should call Myrna.
And what question are we gonna ask Myrna?
What's the obituary process?
What does your obituary look like in the Catholic Church?
The party you are calling is not available. Please try again later.
I know she's traveling because I know I saw a picture of her in her passport.
Oh, where's she going? She called me last week. I gotta call her back.
Who else can we call?
Colleen.
She don't-
She's calling
she
you
want
back.
black.
Call Ursula. Because her nationality is different. What is she?
Oh yeah, call Waduda.
She's Polish.
She's Polish.
Yeah. We're calling my baby mother.
This is gonna be an interesting. First of all, who's gonna ask the question?
We gotta say welcome to my Black Soda podcast and and the Laundromat Podcast.
She not answering. I know who I'm calling. I know exactly who I'm calling.
Who is it?
Don't you worry.
Don't you worry.
And
Well, what do your obituaries look like?
I don't have one.
They don't do that.
They just do the thing, right?
Card.
Okay. Yeah, like the Catholics.
The back pocket thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they do. They ain't do nobody's obituary.
The back pocket thing. That's it. That's all you do.
They don't even embalm the body.
Yes,
Where
we
they
go.
go.
You tried it.
I want to call Matt.
But they eat.
Oh, that's what we call.
Yeah.
They eat cheese.
That's my person that pick it up.
They eat cheese and hot cocoa at their repast.
Why?
Ooh.
All right, we're pressed for time.
We gotta go to the next one.
Yeah, we got 15 minutes.
Okay, so that was the obituary. The pallbearer.
Oh, we did this already.
So that's the person who helps carry the casket.
Yeah, you help carry the casket. Typically 6 of y'all. There is a spot for 8.
And I need to go back to the obituary. No. Y'all skipped my whole question.
You skipped your question.
You skipped the obituary. Is there an interview process for the person who's reading this out loud? Because certain names were not said right yesterday. Commas and periods were skipped. And I'm a firm believer, if you're going to give someone to read something, that one document has to be in font 16 or 18 so they can actually see it. Because if you're reading from the actual book itself,
The Book of Jacob.
Well, typically, yes, you make sure that this person is going to read properly. Also, around this time, people aren't thinking properly. So it's a 50-50 chance that something's going to be wrong.
I'm not too pressed on pronouncing people's names right.
Yeah, but the deceased you should pronounce right.
The deceased, of course.
And she said her name wrong.
She did.
Absolutely. She called her Lionel.
She did.
Oh, I missed that.
She absolutely called her Lionel.
She did.
No.
Yes, the fuck she did.
Yes, she
Yes.
did.
And my grandmother's name is Linnell.
She called her Lionel?
Yes, she did.
How
And she
many
didn't
times?
correct herself once. I know if anybody was looking at me at that funeral, they was like, this boy is ready to go. Because I just was sitting there and I was just like, this is a mess. Lionel, she tried it.
Okay. We got that one covered. We got the pallbearers, right?